All right. Tell me when.
We are rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to... I said...
No, sorry.
Welcome to episode...
I'm shooting Nick right now because I told him I would start that. Guys.
Yeah, like if I mess up, Nick gets shot.
My nuts.
It's like a prison movie, you know?
Welcome back to Between the Lines with Mikey Teutul. We got Nick. We got
Nick.
Al here.
We got Al.
We're just so happy to have another chance to engage with you guys. So right off the bat, wanted to talk a little bit about the history of OCC and Mike. I know he's done this a billion times, but you know, for our guests, how was
What do you
it?
want to know? I'm an open book. I'll just...
Curious, okay. Now, when it happened, when let's say the whole OCC thing occurred, you got that first big check. What did you do with it?
I never got a big check.
Never got a big check.
Yeah, next question. Ding, ding, ding. Oh my God, this is your life.
All right. So how about when you felt like you were getting recognized? I mean, was there...
I recognize, yeah.
Was there a certain time when you're like, holy shit, this shit is... I'm starting to get people coming up to me or... You know, in the
strangers recognize you. Yeah, you hear your name. Usually, that's synonymous with like someone you know or associate. Or
was that weird?
Yeah, because you're confused and stuff.
Yeah,
I was never big on the attention, to be honest with you. I'm pretty shy when it comes to that.
I know that,
but I do try to be as gracious and what do you call it? Personable with people when I meet them.
First autograph. First autograph, did that trip you out? Or like somebody came up, oh, can you sign this shit or whatever?
You know, the first autograph was kind of like a pre-planned thing where I was piggybacking with my father and my brother, and I hadn't become popular in the show yet, you know? But they just sat me with them.
Gotcha.
And we did autographs for like 2 hours, and I felt like mentally exhausted from it.
Yeah.
It's just this repetitive, crazy stuff like I will not. It's just like drawing on the board. You know, after school, after you've done something bad.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird to me like that. But at the same time, you see that people get a kick out of it. It makes them happy.
That's cool.
What the hell? They got to keep saying. I wonder what they do with them because, I mean, we did a lot of appearances, meet and greets and stuff. So there must be like, you know, a couple 100,000 of my shitty signatures out there, you know, which are inconsistent.
They're stealing your identity and taking your debt.
You know what's interesting?
Well, no, I'm just saying, what do they do with them? Is it in a drawer with like, you know,
tell you, people bring the stuff that they got autographed. They bring the stuff they got autographed and they bring them back here to get them signed by other people. So somebody might have gotten your autograph back in 2007.
Yeah, but how many of those? Balls. Now, just on the low side, right?
Or
on the
dirty. Yeah, they just put them in a drawer and forget
the underbelly of it. How many of those are just in the garbage? You know, they got mixed in with something.
They probably put them in a bin or yard sale. They might have even given them to pawn shops when you guys were at the height. They might have sold them when you were at the height of your fame.
Really, I would have done that.
Well, you know what? I mean, they could be sitting up. They could be in garages. You got a lot of, you know, there's still a lot of OCC fans out there. I mean, there really is. I mean, it just depends.
Yeah.
On I guess when and where, and you know, if you're a bike guy, you're a bike guy. I mean, that's at the end of the day. Now, whatever.
People love motorcycles.
Why didn't you get into bike building?
Yeah. Why didn't you?
I don't like it.
You don't like the building?
Yeah, I'm not a mechanically minded person. You know, I enjoyed being around men who were at the top of their game. And I
just cut it off there. Just say I enjoy being around men.
I enjoy being around men a lot.
Right.
And that was enough for me. Next question. No, just around these guys who are at the top of their game doing something that I don't give a shit about, you know?
Yeah.
But it's cool, and it gave me an appreciation for all things that you might or might not be very, very interested in personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just an appreciation for really fine work.
Right.
So I think it's given me a little bit better, I don't know.
All right.
Or go to IQ and make
How we
it quick.
doing?
Boom, boom, bam.
Doing
great.
okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm keeping it on a swivel, baby.
You got to keep it on a swivel.
Yeah,
keep it on the
a lot of things, they become like, you know, I hear, I'll meet people in the street or getting gas, or even today, or yesterday. Was it yesterday? I didn't want to see a single person. I went to just get gasoline. And I was helping a friend move, but there was no, interacting with anybody else. And it was a guy who watched the show.
Oh, really?
And he's asking me about my dad and my brother. And I got to go through the spiel.
I know. I know you hate going through the spiel, but
not
you know
that
what?
I hate it, but it's sometimes you just want, like anything.
You're like,
work,
let me fucking paint
your
and just
family
leave
and
me
your
the fucking
work.
alone.
Yeah, or I'm out doing something. I was helping my buddy move.
Yeah.
Which was nice. No, it sucked.
Was that the Catskill? Well, that was.
Fuck that, man. I'm done moving people.
Hold on, we're gonna leave.
Anybody I love is watching this right now and thinks I'm gonna move the other end of your fucking armoire.
Hold on.
Think again. I'm done. I'm a 43-year-old man.
We gotta put.
I like that.
43-year-old man.
What you just said
Have your
is cool.
spoiled, lazy fucking
Are
children.
we back on?
Yeah. No, you were on. I was just like,
Now let me. I mean, what you just said was funny because there's a lot of people out there. I mean, you're doing your day-to-day thing now, so you got people coming up to you, and you may be doing something outside of the bike building world, and they're fucking asking you about all kinds of shit about the show. How do you handle that typically? What do you do? You just give them.
I try to jam pack it. And I try to give people, something nice that they could take back with them, make them happy. Thank them very much for watching the show. Take a picture if they need. And then basically if they ask me about my dad or brother, I really try to hit them with cliff notes. Your dad's in Florida, doing really great, man. He's really calmed down with that temper. My brother's got a thing going to Long Beach Island.
That's exactly what I did for 3 years.
Brother's got a thing going to Long Beach Island. It's going great there, man. He's very happy. He's got a little boy. It's great. Love you. You guys been wonderful.
All in
Thank
that
you.
order. All in that order. Long Beach Island, then he had a little boy.
Or sometimes I'll linger with somebody, if they're interesting enough. Like, I could tell a guy was a little off the other day, and he was in front of my brother's place in Long Beach Island. And I was visiting for like a day, and I sat there and talked to him for a while, man, because he was just an interesting fella.
You could. I think you can. You could probably tell just a real true fan, other than somebody who
they usually they usually smell.
Oh, I know the show or whatever the fuck.
They usually smell.
Yeah, they have a specific smell.
They smell like they've been.
Well,
to
we're gonna cut that
a NASCAR event. No.
I don't know. I think that's a good thing to keep in. You all smell.
Well, everybody smells. I didn't say bad.
No, they smell.
Yeah, like a NASCAR.
And Mike loves smelling NASCAR people.
All right, first big purchase.
I'm not an extravagant taste kind of guy. I was the kind of guy who could spend $200 at the dollar store.
I've seen you. We've gone
Foolish.
out. Yeah, exactly.
First big expense. I mean, I never really made the huge paycheck. It was just enough. But I did buy my mom's house, which was a huge mistake.
Wow.
Huge mistake. Yeah.
So you own that?
I own that big old house. Yeah, it was a big, big house. And
it's not bad though. It's a nice place to have.
What do you mean a mistake?
Well, I don't think I was responsible enough. You know what I mean? I had my friends move in. They were playing video games really loud all night and shit. It's like, get the fuck out of here,
Yeah.
Like, I pay rent. And it's like, I don't care if you pay rent. You're done playing Halo 3 at 3 in the morning.
yeah.
Well, you know what? You got to understand, though, this is many years. I mean, when you think back on it.
Oh, yeah.
How old were you?
20s. Yeah, I was in my mid-late 20s.
If I had that money, I'd buy a house.
I would have bought it. I would have done the same fucking thing.
I guess it would have been a wise investment if I was a wiser person at the time.
Who's wise in their 20s? I mean, there are some guys.
Nobody.
Well, there are
I'm a fucking idiot.
There are those guys.
Nick
There's
be
those
sharp with it,
Zuckerberg guys and these fucking, these guys who are like
they're sharp with
tech
their money.
millionaires. But at the end of the day, most people in their 20s, what are they doing? They're just trying to have fun.
Trying to get drunk and laid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We
trying to get
nailed
drunk
it on
and
the
laid.
head. Absolutely correct.
And I had a lot of fun. I'm gonna boo-hoot or anything like that. But it was a mistake. I think I should have just rented something mediocre size and just kept more money. At the end of it, I wound up breaking even after
That's not bad.
Well, you know what?
I
It's
got out of it.
It's hindsight, right?
Did you start at zero? Is
yeah,
that what you
totally.
mean?
Well, I ended at 0.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you start at 0 and end at 0, and that's how you broke even? Or
Yeah.
well, at least you didn't come out of it with 35,000. At least you didn't come out of a year of school with 72 grand in debt.
I came out of it with 2 ex-fiancés.
Exactly.
One that locked me
same
out
concept.
one time, and I had to kick my own door in.
Did she?
What do you mean?
Oh,
What
locked
happened?
you
Tell me
out.
that.
I thought you said
she locked me
Hold
out.
on, Nick. Let's go there. What happened?
I was drinking at the time. I was out late, and my ex wouldn't let me in the house, so I had to kick my own door in.
The door belonged
it
to
took
you?
a long time to kick the door in because it was a pretty heavy outside door. Right. Yeah, I had to keep kicking it. I was like kicking the whole thing apart. And I was tired and drunk, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then eventually she
Were you
just
doing
came
the elbow thing
downstairs.
too? You're
unlocked
like
it.
fucking, you're kicking and then hitting.
I was trying that, but the only thing that was working was the heel, man.
Yeah.
And I just I ruined the whole door jam.
So once you hit through, boom, doors open. What happened?
Nothing.
You're like, I'm
I
in.
wasn't going to attack her. I was happy to be inside.
That's it. It's your door. At the end of the day, you want to get
It's
into
my
your
door.
fucking
Yeah,
door.
that's what's
Exactly.
great about it. It
I
looks like it's
own
a
this
violent
door.
act. But really, I'm just trying to get myself a violent home. You know?
That ain't a wah. We're talking about a door, Nick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
Mike,
yes.
question.
What do you got?
You've had the opportunity, obviously, through the OCC,
Keep it on a swivel. Here we go.
you know, the OCC umbrella, to travel multiple places.
Oh, beautiful.
Give me your top 5
Places?
places that you've had the opportunity to travel throughout the world that you consider your favorite. Give me them in order.
In order, okay.
Now.
I know the top 2, but
You know the top 2?
Top 2.
yeah. But
And why?
Philippines were interesting because
Really?
it's a
I've never
beautiful
been.
place. It's very exotic because I haven't been to any kind of Asian country. And it's interesting to witness what third world life is like.
Okay.
You see a lot of younger people sleeping, you know, on the street and things like that.
Yeah.
And just, you know.
Did you have the opportunity to go out and mingle with the fucking, you know, go out and experience the Philippines, or were you like caught in a bubble in the hotel?
No, I insisted on going out for a tour of Manila.
Did you?
Yeah, these other guys, my dad was going on like a hike up a mountain or something like that, but I think they were worried about it being more dangerous
Uh-huh.
for me to go, and I was like, look,
I'm going.
I want to see this shit, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They send somebody
bought a
with you?
karaoke microphone. It's gold, has a speaker built into it.
Oh, that's
real
cool.
cheap. Yeah, at a marketplace. They said, you know, hide the cell phone the whole time.
Did they send somebody with you? You go solo.
They did. I went with a historian.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, who wouldn't shut up after a little while.
Yeah. You're like, okay, enough.
But it was pretty cool. I mean, I didn't really absorb too much. But
So Philippines is number what? 1 out of 5, and where?
1 out of 5. What do you mean?
Placement.
Oh, you mean
A placement? I would put
Top
that.
5.
Let's say that'd be number, say 5, right?
Okay.
Then Brazil was similar. I've been to Brazil twice.
Dangerous.
Brasilia and Sao Paulo.
Is Brazil dangerous?
Very dangerous.
Oh, yes.
Very dangerous. We had to have bodyguards the whole time.
Yep.
Okay.
But you also see exactly how poor people live.
Really?
Super poor. As you're coming down, you know, you just see this endless sea of shanties. And these people are really poor.
Right.
So it gives you a real, like, kind of appreciation of being middle class in America, you know?
So
Hey, hold
why
on,
did it
hold on.
become for them? Because, okay, if it was shanties, because the environment, I mean, in terms of the landscape, what made it so cool?
We weren't there long. I thought the food was pretty exotic. And then we got to go to the presidential mansion. And we ate lunch with the president at the time. I think his name was Lula.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's currently being held for war crimes or some shit like that. But really interesting place because they have all the nicest. You know, I've never been to anything like that, like a palace or anything like that.
Was it like a White House mansion or like a mansion? I mean,
It was
like,
it was a nice,
This is
big,
core
beautiful mansion.
Okay.
You know, all kinds of exotic birds, all kinds of exotic fish.
What'd you guys eat?
People cooking. Oh man, there's rotisserie, different types of meat on rotisserie constantly.
Nice.
And I wasn't going to be allowed there because I didn't bring any pants. But the first lady said that I reminded her of her son, so she allowed me to go to the mansion without having shorts on.
I forgot.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have been like left behind to drink Chops Brahma.
Everybody
Which is
out
this
there,
great beer they
Mikey
have
doesn't
there.
wear pants. He wears shorts. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah. That's a very...
So she let you in. She gave you the go-ahead.
Go ahead. Boom.
All right.
Then we ate a bunch of food and left.
So number 3.
Number 3. You know, I really enjoyed Scotland.
Never been
Scotland
to
and Ireland. I was only there for like 2 days Scotland, 1 day in Ireland.
Beautiful.
But I got into Scotch in Scotland, funny enough.
Yeah.
And we stayed at we went to the Edinburgh Castle. Then we stayed at an old castle at night, right? And then we were drinking, I drank Scotch with a groundskeeper named Angus with mutton chops.
Love it.
Right?
Very Scottish.
And you know how in old like horror movies like Dracula or whatever, the fog rolls in and you don't think that's real, but it has real. Oh man, it just came in real slow and subtle. Boom, hits the walls, goes up, and it makes the whole place like an old horror movie.
Now I never drank scotch, but I always hear single malt, double malt, whatever. What the fuck is the difference with this scotch? Does it really matter? Is there actually a taste value there?
I think so. Yeah, I used to like the stuff that wasn't smoky and like a sherry wood. This Glenmorangie sherry wood. Right. But I would drink any scotch if you had it. If you're not accustomed to it, it tastes like you're putting your tongue on some dirt and gasoline. Yeah. And it's more expensive than whiskey, but
it's good stuff.
Got a taste for it there, yeah.
All right,
so we got made an impact on me.
We got Philippines. We got what was number 4?
Brazil.
We got
Scotland, Ireland.
Now the difference between Scotland and Ireland
very big.
Was it obvious, or was it just nuanced, or was it just completely? Because when I think of Ireland, Scotland, I'm thinking
beautiful and green,
very green.
Yeah, we did a nice long motorcycle ride along the ocean and the countryside.
Cliffs of Moher.
And we stopped in a nice village that had like a cobblestone road.
Gotta love those. Those are fun.
Oh man, drank Guinness, had shepherd's pie, all
love
that bullshit.
Love that. That's the best Irish adventures. I've been there,
and that was nice. I thought that the Scottish and the Irish were very humble. Not that the English weren't. But I get the feeling that they've definitely been oppressed by the English.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, in that, I guess their accents are much more attractive too. Like the Scottish accent.
Number 2.
Number 2, I would go with Australia. Yeah. I spent 32 days in Australia. We were filming like a 3-episode thing.
Wow.
Can you tell us the Russell Crowe story or no?
Oh yeah, we were able to meet up with Russell Crowe in Australia, which I thought was really kind of like fun. And
nice guy, cool.
Very
dude.
Nice guy, very accommodating. Welcomed us into his house. We were sitting there eating dinner with my father across the table, and his parents were sitting there. Very nice, lovely people. And he got up in the middle of dinner and went over to a little wooden box and rolled a joint, and he brought it over to me, and he said, here you go, just in case you want to look at the stars later. Because in the southern hemisphere, you look into the galaxy and it's substantially more visible stars. It's beautiful.
Wow.
But I remember the look on his parents' face, though. Like they were like kind of old school and they were a little revolted by it. And I don't think he gave a fuck. He just went back, sat down. And I was like, put that in my pocket.
When you're Russell Crowe, though.
Definitely smoked it later on,
Yeah,
then we were staying in his guest house and we watched Gladiator. And
what? I knew of the Russell Crowe story, but you never told me you watched Gladiator.
And we were listening to his music. He had a bunch of CDs from his band. It's a 30-odd foot.
I didn't know he played music.
Yeah, we were rocking out, drinking beer and shit.
Was he good? Any good?
Yeah, it's good rock and roll.
So wait a minute, you watched Gladiator with the Russell Crowe?
No, he wasn't there. That's what's funny. And we were thinking, what if he comes in here while I'm watching Gladiator?
That would have been awesome, dude.
Oh, and then another movie he was in where he played like a hateful Nazi when he was very young. It was an Australian film. I think he won an Australian Oscar for it, called Romper Stomper, which I was really impressed by his.
I've never seen that.
It's fantastic.
He was good in Beautiful Minds.
They said I was Daniel
everything, isn't he?
Beautiful Minds. He was really good. He is a good actor. He really is.
Yeah.
That was
he just seems like a man's man kind of a dude,
I think he's definitely got a temperament, but what the fuck,
But how did you guys cross paths?
I think through the Australian Tourism Board. That's how we got to go to Australia to begin with, So they had like 3 events per day.
Yeah.
That we'd hit, and we just happened to hook up with Russell.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly how.
So what else intrigued you about Australia other than the Russell Crowe? I mean, I think that's...
Oh, man, everything. Kangaroos, the countryside, Uluru, which is a sacred rock out in the middle of the desert.
Don't know what that is.
It's a big sacred rock out in the middle of the desert.
Sort of like Stonehenge?
Yeah, something like that. But it's like a mountain.
Yeah,
that's considered sacred by the surrounding inhabitants.
Okay.
That was cool going to see that. What else did we do? Oh, Coober Pedy. There's a place called Coober Pedy. It was an opal mining capital of the world at one time. And also the murder capital of the world. There's a bunch of crazy people who live out there, and it's so hot you have to live underground. and it's illegal to mine for opal, but you could keep building extensions to your house. So people live underground to keep cool. Yeah, and they're like catacombs that they just keep building back.
So they're going to build extensions underground into their house?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Right? Yeah, they all live underground.
And how does it not collapse?
I guess I didn't ask that question.
It is still the capital, though. Yeah. The opal capital of the world is still Coober Pedy.
It is. Yeah, that's why people just keep making extensions to their house, buying opal, living on it.
You know what? I think that's
amazing.
The fact that you've been able to do
Sydney Harbor Bridge. We did the Sydney Harbor Bridge climb.
That's awesome.
You loop into this thing, you go up to the top, across, and then back down, and I froze.
Up on top?
You couldn't get up?
And they hook other groups, like about halfway up, I froze, and they hook other groups behind you, so you have to go.
Oh, wow.
You know, you're on a circuit.
So you
froze and I was sitting there crying.
Now, wait a minute. Are you...
camera. Because I was like, hold on, I'm not fucking going anywhere. I'm not fucking going anywhere. Oh,
they had a camera. They had a camera on you.
So this is not like the Verrazano Bridge or some shit like that.
No, they're not walking across the George Washington Bridge in Washington.
Active
Heights
traffic below you.
Yeah, this thing is like in Fort Lee going.
What made you free? What, the height or what?
There's a height, and you could see down through.
Oh,
some grading you could see down through, and then eventually it started making me like, oh,
dude, shit. I'd be the same way. Yeah. I fucking hate heights.
I had to be talked all
vertigo.
The way up,
oh my god!
Oh.
Don't your pops did that?
Yep.
Did he really?
Fine with it.
Your dad's. He's.
Sometimes I think if one person in the bunch flips out, the rest feel like, okay, I got to be cool.
I'm surprised the old man did that. I think that's awesome.
And then also in Australia, I went scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef.
See any sharks?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, a couple, man. Yeah, like in the faint, distant, murky water, and they tell you there's one symbol, one sign up, down. You know, up means danger, down means don't worry about it. Keep going.
Don't worry about it.
And I saw a shark. No problem. Went all the way to the bottom. There were these giant clams that had like blue in them. You know, you could wave your hand past them and they'll boom, clamp shut.
Have you ever thought about that? I mean, how fortunate, you are.
Super.
To see, to have, because some people don't even fucking leave the United States, much less fucking New York.
State.
Yeah.
You know, the state. I know. That's awesome.
And everybody thinks they can learn everything on the web.
And you can't.
You can't.
On the Discovery Channel.
Although nowadays that VR stuff, the VR stuff, you can experience all that stuff you're talking about. Not maybe exactly.
But you can't smell it, taste it.
No, you can't smell it. You can't do it.
But you on VR, forget it.
I'm telling you.
You probably experienced dick, but I meant that.
I have experienced. No.
Jesus, Nick.
Yeah.
I've never experienced dick.
Okay, Nick. We don't.
In VR.
He was looking for me to believe you. All right, so number. Okay, so now you're
number one.
Yeah.
Oh, also we did swim with sharks in a tank and we fed them.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, and I shit my pants before that, and I was really quaking, like I just put on my wetsuit and I'm looking at these nurse sharks that are going around. They're pretty docile, but they have really gnarly teeth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going in there. I started having another
those
panic
things are
attack.
creepy. Those things are creepy.
And it was in front of a very pretty lady who was a diver. So she talked me in.
So you're trying to be strong.
Talked me into it, trying to man up.
I'm with you.
And I got in there, man. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Number one, though.
Number one would be South Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Johannesburg, and I really felt like, oh, man, this is it. I don't know, some beautiful place, man, like God's living room or something. I don't want to.
Is it flat
Try to
though?
wax
I thought South Africa is more. When I think of South Africa, this is my limited knowledge. I'm thinking flatlands, a bunch of tigers and lions, and
no
safaris
tigers.
Or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, lions. You got hippos. You got rhinos. You get in a Jeep, you go around. The rhinos charge. They hit the.
Do they really?
Yep, they hit the side of the vehicle.
Come on, do they really?
Tire as a bumper. Yeah, it's great. They don't do it all the time, but they come pretty close and like hit it. You
see any crocs?
I think a couple crocs.
Wow.
Yeah,
they'll scare the shit out of me.
But the lions were amazing. Like from about 100 yards, they got lions out. Right, they're sitting in trees, a docile part of the day or whatever. So they figure, okay, we're good here.
Yeah.
And you just hear them kind of growl, and the power of the growl itself, not even a roar or anything aggressive, is just like so. I know it carries. It's massive. It's
you know what's crazy about
it's
lions?
unsettling.
is, and I feel, and I know that I'm incorrect here.
Yeah.
That if I came in contact with the lion, I could defend myself.
Yeah, everybody says that with a bear too.
And you can't.
No,
right?
you're dead.
No fucking chance.
Yeah, you might get you might cut through his fur a little bit. You know, give him a scratch, give him a reason to fucking really go brutal on your ass.
Exactly, reason to rip my throat out. But I'm always thinking, okay, how do I defend my? I gotta punch
close
him in
quarter
the eye.
blade. Yeah, and I get a one shot. Fucking blunderbuss.
It's just not possible though. And these lions are not the fucking lions you see in the zoo. These are like real lions.
They're wild. Yeah, they're wild.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're that I think is awesome.
That, and we stayed at these nice, like, they were kind of like outdoor bamboo huts.
Yeah.
With like screens. Bamboo huts with screens, and you could sleep out in the nice cool air. And I remember dinner was served in the evening. They would have music and things like that from South Africa. And I even skipped dinner one night. They had something called cane alcohol. Mm-hmm. It's just made with cane, And I just sat there by myself and drank the whole bottle.
Under the stars?
Yeah, out on the deck while it went down over the African plains, beautiful, And up on the TV, they had the entire best of Paul Simon and Black Moombaza.
God bless, dude.
Wow.
Right? I just felt heavenly.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just felt beautiful. It's wonderful.
You're blessed, dude.
Very much so.
Well, those are.
Yeah, so South Africa. I mean, they say you go down to Cape Town as well, but I never made it down there. But Johannesburg, I thought was magic. It was absolutely
that's
magic.
Cool.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that's one on my bucket list. I'd love to get to South Africa. I haven't done it.
I recommend that you do.
Yeah, definitely want to do that.
That's about it for today.
Is it?
Yeah. Hopefully, we got to figure that
You
out.
listen to our podcast anywhere our podcasts are listened to. Or you could go to www.mikey, just the letter N, al.com.
Well, yeah, we look forward to seeing anybody. Seeing.
I'd love to see you.
Definitely want feedback, support, and we just love interacting with everybody out there. So, from Mikey to myself.
Any
to Nick.
topics anybody wants us to touch on?
Yeah,
please
put any topics, anything
comments.
of that nature. Please feel free to put that into the what's it called, Nick?
Comments.
Comments. There you go. And it was great being with you guys today.
Ditto.
Beep.
Nick, ditto.
Beep.
Say it.
Ditto.